director at Fitsall Agency, and today I want to take y'all through a project breakdown of a rebrand with a real client. Mood Mail is a Black woman-owned greeting card company determined to create mail for all of your moods. Mood Mail has been in business since 2020, and the founder, Mia, she is all about creating a community and celebrating the big and small moments. One thing I like about working with this client is that she really loves what she does and she really cares about her product. Let's get right into the brief and background of this rebrand. So funny enough, I was the original brand designer when Mood Mail launched in 2020. So I was really excited that she came back for a rebrand because I did not know half of the things that I know now. So when the owner came to me with her initial request, she emphasized that Mood Mail had just outgrown their look. She really emphasized the need for a new font and stronger colors. And looking back at the branding done in 2020, I remember what we were inspired by to even come up with the concept of going a more softer direction with her brand in general, which was beauty and the beauty industry and beauty brands like Milk and Glossier. Something simple, but you can build off of it essentially. And I wanted to point this out because it's very important to know that even though you're doing brand identity, I think it's okay and sometimes even fun and appropriate to go outside the box and look at industries that are not your own. Mood Mail is a greeting card company. We were looking at beauty brands as if for inspiration. And I love that we did that because it helped Mia stand out and grow her business even more, because this is not just another Hallmark. You know what I'm saying? So continuing down the line with the rebrand, I actually took time to myself to just look up some images and things that I felt could inspire me for this rebrand, as she emphasized the word sophisticated, grown, and that she's outgrown the last look of Mood Mail. She wanted something bold. So I took those things and I came up with a little bit of mood board, it's not that big, of what I possibly was thinking to go with the direction. So I want to take a moment and pause right quick, because often with rebrands, we feel like we have to rebrand the entire thing, or you kind of feel like you don't want to touch it at all. But I think it's considerate to think about what your client is telling you in the first place, of what they really want to change and what is appropriate to change as well, if you get what I'm saying. Because oftentimes we see rebrands done all the time at a bigger level than what I'm doing right here today. And oftentimes if you change too much, rebrands can get you dragged on the internet, right? But also if you change a little bit, it's like, what happened? But it doesn't have to always be obvious. Sometimes a rebrand can be just changing the font to something softer, from a sans serif to a serif font, or, either or, it doesn't matter. But rebrands are simply tailored to that brand and what they're looking for and who they're targeting, or the goal they're targeting. So after all of that, diving right into the logo process and fonts, I decided to start with the fonts. This is something, that's how I felt. But I decided to start with the fonts since this is something. Why is that so? This is a something. I decided to start picking out the font due to the founder really wanting that to be the biggest change to happen. So it took us a while to land on something. We sent some options back and forth. I showed her how it looks in the logos that we already had in place and what it could look like, in action. But eventually we did land on a font that we both thought embodied what we were going for the Mood Mail rebrand, and what initiated a lot of more ideas to come down the line. And one thing I really want to point out with this font is specifically the M. Only the M, it has this indent at the bottom. And this little serif, or I don't know what to call it, indication, was so unique to the font, and it really made things stand out. It really looks like the same indication of like an ink pen. I'll put them side by side so you can see. Am I lying or what? Am I making it up? Is it in my head? I don't know. I really loved this touch, and so did the owner, and we both really bonded over that. Along with all of that, the font is very much more traditional. It's more mature than the last one. I think it stands out in a more traditional way where she can grow with this for many, many more years to come without having to really go back into another rebrand. For the logos, we had a set of 4 this time. Initially, I think I gave her 2. So definitely added to the party here. So we added a heritage logo, which just means that we added a version of the logo where it has an established date attached to it, simply as somewhat of a lockup, if you will. So it has the name, it has a symbol around it, and then it also has the established time on it. So I really wanted to add that in there, being that this is her most used logo or her primary logo, and also that it's something she could place on things like an email, what's it called? The bottom of the email, forgot what it's called, but she can place that on the email, and then she can use this on, you know, the letterheads and things like that. Her primary logo, speaking about that, her primary logo is a stamp outline with the mood spelled out. Love this. This is a signature from Mood Mail. I just needed to upgrade it and design it so it fit the new font. Our new font that we had was way taller than the last one, so I adjusted the stamp overall. Along with that, I placed another stamp for her to use just as a secondary option so that she could have a horizontal version, if you will, and a vertical version. I don't know why I didn't do this at first, but I'm so in love with how they look. I think it's very great for her to have different versions to use. This last option is simply Mood Mail spelled out. Simple as plain as day, Mood Mail with the font, and this is her most scalable option, I would say, because you can make it as small as you want or big as you want. Getting into these colors were fun to do. The founder explained to me that she was tired of that dilutedness that it was giving. She really wanted the colors to speak out more, or she really wanted the colors to pop more. She wanted more saturation. Even the black that we initially had was somewhat of like a off charcoaly grayish black. I don't even know what to call it, but it was very off, and and not off in a bad way. It was just off black. Anyways, she emphasized that she just wanted straight up black and white as part of her palette this time, and she wanted to stick with a pink tone, if you will, and this is just signature to Mood Mail as well. Like I said, with the rebrand, some things just don't need to change as far as the standard, if you get what I'm saying. So what we decided to do is create a neutral palette for the bottom, so you'll have brown, black, and white, and then for the top half of the color palette, which is one of the primary colors, you'll have magenta, a hot pink, and a light pink. But it's an embodiment and a stronger version of the pink that we used in the past. So I really love how this came out. I love that there is a monochromatic feel to it, and then you can pair it with neutrals. Also love a good monochromatic color palette, just because you can always pair the darkest and lightest together, and it always looks so, it just looks so beautiful to me. But let me quickly explain the color psychology behind this, because I am really into it. If you're not, sorry, but I'm really into it. I think it is very important. Some people think that design is not that deep, but when doing brand identity and things like this, where the owners have a story behind their business, they have a story behind their customers and things like that, it has to connect somehow. And with color, that is really one of the biggest ways to connect with feelings and grab people's attention. Yes, pink is so non-traditional, right? But studies show that pink can allude to being challenging, disruptive, and being unexpectedly dominant. So I really like these keywords that have came out of the psychology behind it, and I think that root has to do with men, unfortunately, but but when I say this, I say it in the sense of, you know how they say real men wear pink. So relating this back to Mood Mail and the client, Mood Mail is not your traditional greeting card company. Mood Mail creates cards for a lot of moments that don't often get celebrated, for moments that are in our culture, for moments that are in other minority cultures that usually don't have cards for in the store or in other spaces, that are not ran by Black women or any minority at that wouldn't know about it, if you get what I'm saying. All in all, that one part is already disruptive. So I think this color and having it stand out in the brand and being such a dominant force in the entire branding, it really stands to and relates to how Mood Male even is in the first place, if you get what I'm saying. And then just a little bit more insight on the psychology part. Pink also exudes brightness. It can be bubbly. It can allude to a bubbly feeling. It also stimulates energy and attracts attention as well. So I think all of these things are working together very well for Mood Male. And just keep in mind with brand application, the pink color is not so strong where it's in your face and on everything. Like, you can obviously get a card and it not be pink everywhere. Like, not every card is pink. This doesn't apply to the product, but it more so applies to how Mood Male presents outside of that and how Mood Male presents as a business, if that makes sense. So I really hope that all correlates for you. I hope I explained it well. This is me practicing to explain my work more. All right, so that's all the core moments I have to share with you for creating the rebrand for Mood Male. And here's a full before and after of the full rebrand and how it turned out. I really love it. I think it is more strong, it's more bold. It stands to the changes that Mia requested, because she's my client. But also it stands to where Mia's going today and where Mood Male is going today. Initially, when I seen this rebrand come and we were talking about it, it just felt like you were 21 years old and now you gotta pop out. You adult now. She trying to be grown. Like, this is what it felt like. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know down in the comments down below. What was your favorite part? Just let me know what you thought of the full rebrand itself. If you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know so I can keep making more of this. And if you are a small business or just a business in general looking to do a rebrand or initial branding to start your company, please hit up Fits All Agency down in the comments down below. You can also scan the QR code popping up on the screen if you're watching on TV, because I would really love to hear your story and hear what you have to share with the world. I'm Nakia Pleasant, the founder and creative director of Fits All Agency. I will talk to y'all later.